Have you ever planted sweet potatoes by placing the tubers directly into the soil, caring for them, and waiting for harvest, only to be disappointed with the results? Today, I am going to share a new way to grow sweet potatoes that helps reduce moisture loss, requires less maintenance and weeding, and can produce surprisingly good results. Watch until the end of the video to see exactly how it is done. First, I do not plant the sweet potato tubers directly. I use them to produce sweet potato slips for planting. I place these healthy sweet potatoes into the soil horizontally, burying about half of each tuber. After about 2 weeks, we should have sweet potato slips ready for planting. Next, I will reuse these 2 tires as growing containers. Each tire is about 50 inches in diameter. I will fill them with soil mixed with compost. Since both tires are quite large, they require a substantial amount of soil. Sweet potatoes grow best in loose, well-draining soil that does not become compacted. After filling the first tire, I level the soil surface. I do the same with the second tire. It may take about 5 or 6 wheelbarrow loads of soil to fill both tires. Once they are full, I dig a small hole about 6 to 7 inches deep in the center of each tire. Next, I use 2 1.5-liter plastic bottles joined together. I make many small holes around the sides and leave the top opening uncovered. Then I place the bottles into the holes and cover the sides with soil. These bottles will serve as homemade kitchen waste composting tubes for the plants later on. Each tire has 1 homemade composting tube in the center. After that, I continue adding more soil on top. I use a different method from ordinary planting by building the soil into a high mound, creating more vertical space for the sweet potatoes to develop. I pile the soil up high and press it lightly to keep the mound stable. Next, I insert several small wooden stakes diagonally into the soil from different directions. Do you know what they are for? They help reinforce the mound and prevent the soil from slipping or collapsing when it is built this high. I repeat the same process with the other tire. Growing sweet potatoes in a raised mound like this also improves drainage and reduces the risk of waterlogged soil and tuber rot. It can also limit unwanted secondary rooting along the vines, helping the plant direct more energy toward the main storage roots. Once the soil preparation is complete, I cover the entire surface of each tire with a sheet of plastic mulch. I cut a round hole in the center so the composting tube can pass through the covering. Then I use a wooden stick to push the outer edge of the plastic down along the inside rim of the tire. The plastic covering helps retain moisture, suppress weeds, warm the soil, reduce erosion and compaction, and limit secondary rooting along the sweet potato vines so the plant can focus more energy on developing the main tubers. This method also requires less maintenance than conventional planting. Finally, the setup is complete. These are the sweet potato plants I started from tubers 2 weeks ago to produce planting slips. Growing sweet potatoes from slips helps them root quickly, develop more evenly, use less planting material, and usually produce better shaped tubers than planting whole sweet potatoes directly. I have just cut the healthiest and strongest vines for planting. I will use scissors to make small pointed openings in the plastic sheet so I can insert the sweet potato slips. Each healthy cutting should be about 4 to 5 inches long and have 4 to 6 nodes. It is best to use the tip or a moderately mature section that is neither too young nor too old. Then, I insert it deeply enough into the soil so it can root more easily. At this stage, the role of the plastic covering becomes even clearer. It helps hold the soil and the cuttings in place while retaining moisture. As a result, the nodes can form roots more quickly and are less likely to dry out during the early stage. Finally, I lightly water all the leaves and pour some water into the kitchen waste composting tube to provide the plants with their initial moisture. 5 days later, the wilted sweet potato cuttings have become fresh and healthy again. Let me show you more closely. New leaves have started emerging from the nodes along the vines. You can also see a thin layer of water collecting on the plastic surface, showing that moisture is being retained during this stage. 10 days later, the leaves have grown larger, and the vines have become longer. After 20 days, the sweet potato vines have grown quite long. Some have reached about 15 inches, and many side shoots have also developed. At this point, I need to trim some of the vines that have grown too long. You can see that secondary roots have already started forming along the vines. Trimming helps control excessive spreading, keeps the growing area open and manageable, and encourages the plant to produce more branches. After trimming, I will pin the sweet potato vines down. Watch carefully how I do it. First, I cut a small slit in the plastic sheet. Then I guide the vine through the opening, lay it close against the soil surface, and use a flexible pin to hold the vine firmly in contact with the soil. These are water hyacinths. Let me show you what I do with them. I chop them into very small pieces, then spread them out in the sun to dry and reduce their water content. The next day, I gather the dried water hyacinth and add a small amount of trichoderma. Then I mix everything thoroughly. This becomes a nutrient-rich organic material for the plants. As you can see, I place it into the opening of the composting tube, so the sweet potatoes can gradually receive nutrients as it decomposes. Water hyacinth contains organic matter along with minerals such as nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, calcium, and magnesium. Potassium supports water movement and tuber development. Nitrogen helps the vines and leaves grow, and phosphorus supports the root system. Once the water hyacinth has fully decomposed, its organic matter also helps loosen the soil, retain moisture, and increase microbial activity. After 50 days, I continue trimming the sweet potato vines. They have spread across the ground, and many secondary roots have also formed. Removing some of the vines at this stage is important because the plant is beginning to focus more of its energy on developing the main cluster of storage roots. I do not cut away too much. I only remove vines that are excessively long, old, or spreading too far across the ground. These are all the sweet potato vines I have cut off, but I am not going to throw them away. I will continue making use of them. First, I cut them into small pieces. Then I place them in a large container and add a small amount of trichoderma and water. I will ferment these vines into organic fertilizer. After about 7 to 14 days, the mixture can be diluted and used to fertilize or water plants. This is the liquid from the kitchen waste I fermented earlier. I will dilute it with clean water and use it to fertilize the sweet potato vines. I pour the diluted liquid directly into the composting tube. As the liquid moves downward, some of the dissolved nutrients seep through the holes in the tube and into the surrounding soil. The young roots and root hairs growing nearby can then absorb those nutrients. After 90 days, you can see that the sweet potato vines have grown extremely well and almost completely covered both tires. At this stage, I still need to trim the growing tips one more time because the plants need to focus their energy on developing the tubers. I carefully remove some of the newly emerging shoots. The sweet potato vines have now become too dense, so I need to build a simple support to lift them off the ground and improve airflow underneath. I drive 2 vertical wooden stakes into the ground and place 1 horizontal pole across the 2 tires. Once the support is finished, I lift and arrange the sweet potato vines over it. After 4 months, the sweet potato plants have matured. The leaves have turned yellow and started to wilt. Now it is time to harvest the sweet potatoes. I will begin by tearing open the plastic sheet here. Can you see it? The first sweet potato has appeared. And here is another one. There are so many tubers. The sweet potatoes are holding quite firmly in the soil. I will continue searching on this side. Ha ha ha! This one has a very unusual shape, doesn't it? For the other tire, I will cut away all the vines and leaves on the surface. After removing the entire plastic covering, you can clearly see the sweet potatoes underneath the soil. There are quite a lot of sweet potatoes in this area, aren't there? The tubers have developed from the upper part all the way down through the soil mound. There are so many of them. I will continue digging so you can see more clearly. You can see that some of these sweet potatoes are quite long. These are the tubers that developed in the lowest layer of the tire. Now it is time to enjoy the results of all this work.